Hi guys, it's Ryan Chrisman, POS Channel Sales Manager with Electronic Payments. Today's video is about Exatouch Point of Sale for restaurants. And not just one kind of restaurant, all types of restaurants. Fine dining, quick service, fast casual. Exatouch is a great fit for all those different verticals. What I'm going to cover today is what's included with the bundle, as far as hardware and services as well. Our sales process, the software, user interface, and some of the cool features that can help out business owners and their staff. And also kind of just go through some tidbits that I think are really good features inside of the system that are a little bit unique to Exatouch, that give it its own personality. So first, let's start off with what do you get in the bundle. We call it a bundle here because it's going to include hardware, software, and services as well. This is really a complete solution for a restaurant. With the hardware side of things, of course, you're going to get your all-in-one touchscreen terminal, receipt printer, cash drawer, a barcode scanner if you're using this in a fast casual or quick service type environment where some of the products are going to be barcoded. You're also going to receive a PIN pad, of course, that's EMV enabled, and also NFC. So you can take things like Apple Pay or Samsung Pay or an NFC card as well. Now, one of the other things that we've recently done with our hardware side of things is we've changed things up a little bit. The newest terminal really is a sleek-looking terminal. It has a solid-state hard drive, a lot of memory. It's really fast and really sleek. On top of that, in certain verticals, such as that quick service or fast casual, we offer a 10-inch rear-facing display. This way the customer can see the items as they're being added to the transaction. And if you can think about it, if I'm standing, behind this terminal and you're a customer, speaking out your order, we're having a conversation, you'll actually see as I add the items to the order, and you'll see your Italian combo go here, and specifically you told me no onions, and if I didn't touch the no onions button, you can say, and make sure it's without onions, and I could say, okay, I better remodify that. So you make sure that your order accuracy is very, very high. On top of the hardware that comes with the bundle, you also get services with this. And I think the services side of it is the most important side of it. Once you've found Exatouch and you've gone through a sales demo and the system is a good fit for you and you really like it, the next step of things is to step into these services. And the first one is going to be a menu build. So once your menu goes to our menu build team, they're going to review it and they're going to call you and talk to you about your business and your menu. They're going to enter it into the system and then do a menu review where they'll literally show it to you and take feedback, make changes. This process includes setting up preferences, tax rates, permissions for employees. We want the system to be ready for you when you take it out of the box. And when you do take it out of the box, we're going to go through something called an over-the-phone install. Essentially helping you plug stuff in. This wire goes there, this wire goes there, and then we roll you over into training, right? And we want to teach you how to use the system. And I consistently tell people that I really think of training as a double thing, as a two-sided thing, front of house and back of house. Because Ryan the bartender needs to be taught how to open a ticket, do a pre-auth. How to do a tab with someone's name, the guy in the Mets hat. And I also need to be taught, how do I navigate through the menu? How do I remove an item or apply a discount if I'm allowed to, with my permissions? And then secondarily, there's back of house training, which is how do I add new items? How do I hide items that are seasonal? These are all things that are going to be important to the business owner in the long term. How do I get my sales reports? How do I apply gratuities? Those are questions that come up all the time. Now, one last thing I'm going to mention to you guys is that really the best part of our Exatouch solution is the ongoing support. We have a great process of giving you a demo, going through a menu build and training. And then when the dust settles and you're using this, you'll need a friend. It's not if you're going to need to call into the help desk. It's when you'll have a question. You're going to need or want to learn a different area of the program. Our software is really supported by an amazing group of people that are based out of our New York and Florida offices. They're available to you 24/7, 365. and they're going to really be the backbone, of your solution and your services going forward. So that's a really great thing that we offer with Exatouch. Now what I want to do is talk to you guys about the software itself. I want to shift modes and actually get you into the system here. And I want to talk to you first about this new lock screen. I've recently redesigned the screen to have your business's logo on it and to have a few features that we have really felt that commonly come up, functions that are helpful to the business owner. So I walk in and I sit down with my wife, Abby, in Ryan's restaurant, and I have a gift card that my mom and dad gave me. It could be a year ago. Then I hand it to the server and I say, hey, I don't know how much is on this. Could you tell me? And as that server walks away, I say to my wife, well, if there's a lot of money on it, I'm getting a steak. And if there's a little money on it, I might get a hamburger. So, you can actually go through and check a gift card balance directly from the main screen of the program. The server walks up, touches a button, swipes the card. Really, really nice, quick function. How about the business owner coming in after, being out to lunch with a friend or a family member? They want to walk up and get a snapshot report. They can do that instantly from the lock screen. Also from the lock screen, you'll see the fresh sheet. The fresh sheet is really just a list of items that are maybe on special tonight and about how many of them you have left. And I very often have businesses come back to me and say, hey, I use that fresh sheet for stuff that I sell out of all the time. This way, it just keeps the approximate number of how many servings you have of that item really in front of the server's eyes, right? Because we want the server to be thinking about those items, be aware that we're either out of them or, getting very low, very close to zero. And these items that are on this list will change in color. When they get below 5, they'll turn red. You'll see my Aloha burger is grayed out because there's 0. Really neat feature. So we do have time clock. And from this screen, every employee, whether they're kitchen staff or the bartender and servers, they can walk up, clock in and out directly from the lock screen. The feature is a really simple one. By going to clock in, we can punch in our 4-digit PIN, and then we're in. We could take a break, come back from a break, then you get an hours and wages report on the back end. Let's get into the software. I'm going to punch in my 4-digit PIN, and I'm actually going to first start out right here at our landing page. I just want to talk to you guys about how Exatouch it's a Windows-based solution, and you get all the features and functions with this. It's not modularized. It's not, set up where you have to, add additional, apps and things like that. You really get everything from reports to register, where you're going to be ringing up your transactions, to behind the scenes customer management, your staff management and items and menu. We have messaging modules inside of messaging functions inside of the system, purchasing and receiving. It's all here. It's all inclusive. I'm going to start by talking to you guys about the register side of things. Now, when I touch register, I can either have it go directly into my menu if it's a quick service type restaurant or a convenience deli type business. Those are all businesses that would usually skip over a floor plan. But for a fine dining or a casual restaurant, we do have a floor plan with a complete layout, that you can use for kind of customizing your own restaurant floor plan into the system. Let's give a hypothetical order here. Let's say Ryan and Steve come in and they're going to sit at table lucky number 13. I'm going to touch the table. I can either mark it as occupied because it's cold and they're taking their jackets off and they're just getting settled in, or I can go directly in and do an order. And we'll come into the actual menu screen. Now, inside of here, I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of what this screen looks like. First, on the top left, you'll see all the order types. I've got dine-in, takeout, pickup, delivery, even delivery service, which ties in, the Grubhubs of the world, where you can take the order off of the tablet and kind of track it through your main point of sale solution. Down the middle of the page, I have my menu broken up into all kinds of different categories, my example menu here. And you'll see when I touch certain categories, there's subcategories. Along the bottom of the screen, I have 3 rows of custom buttons turned on. These can be used to do all kinds of things in the system, whether that is discounting or adding or repeating or removing lines or selling a gift card, doing transaction or item splits. Those are, splitting a check by guest. Those are all features that happen on a daily or maybe if not hourly basis in a restaurant. And we can park those right along the bottom of the screen for you. You'll even see that I have items. Like I have Ryan's Crazy Brew or I have wings and things like that. A lot of the businesses I work with park maybe the tap beers they currently have across the bottom of the page, just so they don't have to go under alcohol and then beer and then, that type of thing. The system is really customizable, which I think is very important. So once we start an order here, right, Steve and I are doing a dine-in. We're going to wake up with some caffeine, and then we're going to go ahead in and grab a couple of beers, right? I go alcohol, I go beers, and grab a couple of Ryan's Crazy Brews and a Bud Light. What we're also going to do is we're going to go in here, and we're going to go under our appetizers. And I'm going to go to wings because I want to show you how cool our modifiers are. This is a great part of the program. So I'm going to go under wings. I'm going to choose 8 wings. And now here is the beginning of our modifiers. I've touched here because I wanted to show you that we have 2 different types of modifiers. Required, and then there's additional, okay? So required is, hey, these are things you have to tell the kitchen. You can't go forward without telling the kitchen this. I remember when I worked as a bartender, I'd write up a duplicate, steak and wings. And I'd walk into the kitchen and put it on the wheel. And 5 minutes later, Benny the chef would be out saying to me, how do you want the steak cooked? What type of potato? It comes with a salad. What dressing did you want? Are the wings an appetizer or are they with the meal? All these things that I hadn't given him the information on. So Exatouch can force that. So I like Chipotle barbecue. I like celery. I like ranch. But I also like my wings well done. And I don't have that in here. How am I going to move forward? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add a note with my really cool on-screen keyboard. And I'm just going to go in and punch in that I want my wings well done right on my touchscreen. And that's that. And if I was adding something unusual, like adding avocado or a scrambled egg or whatever it may be to a product and you need to add a price, you can do that right here as well. Let's just go forward though. If there's additional mods you'd like to make, we touch the mods button, and we can go down here and we can say that we're going to add ketchup, right? As an example, you can hold things, you can have extra, all different functions that can apply money, additional funds to this, item as well. I'm just going to hit save. I'm going to send this off to the kitchen. And very simple. We hit send order. Now what's going to happen is that order is going to print into the kitchen, at least the food items that are on that order. So you can see here I have my wings, how I want them, and what I've done. I asked a special note to have it well done, and I even added ketchup. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to show you an example of what's going to print to the bar printer, the bar service printer that's sitting out there at the bar. So that's all set. Now my lucky number 13 table shows that Steve and I ordered. Let's go back into it and talk about a few other features though, okay? By the way, you can touch the table and immediately go to print the check. That's kind of a cool quick feature as well. But I'm going to get back in here because earlier I talked about split. Let's say Steve's wife calls and says, hey, you need to come home. One of our boys is going nuts and I need you here. We can go ahead and, Steve says, all right, I'll pay for my stuff. I know you want to stay. That's fine. So we can go down the bottom, touch split by item. We could say Steve had a coffee. Steve had a Bud Light, and Steve said he's going to pay for the wings. So you can do this by item. But more commonly to me, and what happens all the time personally in my life, is I'll go out with a couple, a couple of other couples. My wife Abby will say, hey, we're going to dinner Friday night at, Bob's restaurant, and we go with 3 couples, and the check comes, and instantly there's 3 credit cards. All 3 guys threw a credit card in the middle of the table. And we usually watch the server walking away, shaking their head, getting out a calculator and trying to figure out how to do things. How am I going to break this up? What we actually bring to the table here is the ability to split it by a number of ways. So I can touch on the pay tab and I can say, hey, I want to split this by 3. And the software will actually do the math for me, and I can swipe 3 cards and go back to that table with 3 check presenters and let everybody find their own card and move on with my day. I'm just going to pay this out. So I want to talk to you about a few other features within the system here as well. You'll see also with my table layout that you see the status right now, right? I have status lit up. So you can see that these tables are ready to be cleaned up, and you can either make them available, or you can immediately go, and do an order, right away without even cleaning them up or changing the status of them. Some of the cool features that a lot of business owners find very, very useful is the ability to view timers. How long has a guest been sitting at a table? That type of thing. What's their order number? What staff member is currently taking care of that table? These are all cool things that you can kind of pop on and off really quickly inside of the screen. Now, there's a lot of questions that I get when I show business owners Exatouch for Restaurant. And these things come into play all the time where it's, how do I, add a new item or change something? And, it's so difficult in the system that I have now. And one of the things I want you guys to see is really how easy it is, to go in and change things. You'll see like I'm under apps and wings right now, and I have, 12, 25, 6, and 8. What if I'm going to do small plates and I want to do 4 wings? Check this out. I can go home. I can go under items. I can go under my item details, and this is where every item has its own really page, right? And I'm going to say new, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to add 4 wings into my system. And I think that's really easy. I'm going to choose what category I want this in. I'm going to choose what subcategory I wanted it in. Give it a price. I'm going to say $6 as an example. I could give it a cost if I choose to, set up tax, choose the color of the button really quickly there on the screen, make it crazy red as an example, and just hit save. And now on my menu, I go back into the register. I just kind of click back and forth. Now I have 4 wings. So the system is really very easy, to modify as far as changing things in your menu. That's a thing that I think is very important to know. Guys, there's a lot of other functions inside of this system that I think are important for you. There's obviously the menu management that I just touched on a little bit for you. We do have customer functions where you can take names and addresses and do marketing, through email, mass emails out to your customer base. We have another cool feature built in here. You'll see the little eGift logo on the bottom of the screen where you can sell and redeem gift cards through our eGift platform, which is free. There's no monthly or swipe fees, redemption fees, activation fees, none of that. It's all free for you as a business owner. So that's another really, really terrific feature inside of the system. Now, I'm going to touch on reporting. I'm going to give you kind of a really interesting couple of facts about Exatouch's reporting, and then we'll kind of finish things up for you. But once you get into the reporting side of the software, a cool thing is that you can do preview, and you can look at a report right on the screen. I'm just going to show you the business overview report, which is essentially a 2-page report that kind of just says, hey, this is what happened during this period of time you're going to run us for. Average ticket, sales totals, by category. We have busiest times of the day. We have, all your sales taxes and, your cash summary, all that. So it's cool. You can check it out on the screen. You can export it to a bunch of different formats. But check this out too. You can actually have this sent to yourself or a group or an accountant via email. And you can do it on a cadence too. Hey, I want this every Monday morning at 9 a.m. in my inbox. That's doable, and it's automated. And it's not just this business overview report. Many reports inside of the software are going to let you do that, have them delivered to your inbox and not just on the screen or through an export. So I think that's a really important tool. Recently, I had a business owner ask me, hey, could your system tell me automatically, what features, what items inside of, my store are low? And can it email it to me? And I said, guess what? We have low-level items. You can choose what format you'd like it to be in and set it up to automatically email. And that business owner said, you know what? That helps me so much because I do a lot of my ordering on Monday morning from home. And it would be very helpful for me to see what I'm low on. And, you can have that broken down by, a number of different criteria. But that was very helpful for one specific business owner. You also, guys, you have reporting up in the cloud. You have your POScloud.com where your software package is always backing up, to POS Cloud. And you have a sales dashboard where you can see your total transactions, number of transactions, tips, and some pie charts they're just going to show you the best-selling items and things like that. That are really just some key metrics. And that's also included with the Exatouch platform. So, guys, there's so many features built into Exatouch. And now that's for your fine dining restaurant, for your quick service, whether you're doing sandwiches and things like that, and you want to, really quickly ring up a couple of sandwiches and do that conversational ordering with that rear-facing display. If you'd like to, take an order and go ahead and put a name on it, right? Again, through our on-screen keyboard, right? You can put a label on it and send that off to the kitchen, and or pay it out and have that receipt have a name on it that you want to call out. These are all great features. You see Ryan right here in the tag. Just like they do at a lot of restaurants these days. They're really great features built into the Exatouch platform. So we bring to the table a really affordable, easy to use, flexible solution that I think is going to be great for your restaurant. I'm going to ask you guys to stay tuned to our channel because we're going to be doing more videos about different verticals and about how Exatouch can help your business, whether that's from the restaurant standpoint, retail. We're going to start doing a lot of videos and breaking down Exatouch, into, all the different areas that I think really there's a lot of strengths in. We have things now like caller ID and that delivery manager. And I think some of those features deserve their own videos because the feature really does bring, a lot of automation, to your business. So again, guys, it's Ryan Chrisman, POS Channel Sales Manager with Electronic Payments. I appreciate your time and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.